I see, right? Next time you throw it again, here I come. You know what I'm saying? Come from? So those are games I play. You feel where I'm come from? So I'm always looking for your jab, because that's what starts my thing.
Swing to the side. Yeah, you're up in the air.
If you make him...
The boxing world is absolutely exploding right now with what's coming out of Mike Tyson's training camp, because Iron Mike is back in serious preparation mode and this time has brought in someone who knows exactly what it takes to face him in the ring, which is Roy Jones Jr., and sources close to the situation suggest that Roy has been working closely with Mike, helping him prepare for what could be the biggest exhibition match in history against Floyd Mayweather, and the details leaking from behind those gym doors are absolutely wild.
I'm not going to say who
because I can't name a person.
I'm not going to say who would have beat Floyd, like I said. I'm just saying Floyd never fought nobody that was of his equal. He didn't fight a James Toney. He didn't go looking for a James Toney. And he fought Shane Mosley at 38 years old, and it still was a good fight while he left. Shane almost took him out at 38. He fought Oscar De La Hoya at an old age, and we still ain't sure. If you go look at the fight,
I still ain't sure who won that fight, but now here's what makes this whole situation so fascinating, because Roy Jones Jr. isn't just some random trainer Mike pulled in off the street, since this is a man who actually fought Mike Tyson in an exhibition back in 2020, and Roy felt Mike's power firsthand and experienced that peekaboo pressure, and he knows exactly what Iron Mike is still capable of at this age, and people around the camp claim that Roy's insights have been invaluable because he can tell Mike exactly what worked against him and what didn't during their own fight.
Tyson has nothing exhibitionist about it.
No, he doesn't have that in him. When you watch him spar, his sparring was fights.
Nothing exhibitionish about it. Better get in a little, because you are going there with Mike Tyson.
Yeah,
and
it is Mike Tyson.
You don't know what Mike Tyson might come in there and do. You don't know if you got to protect your ears, your chin, your jaw.
Insiders say the training sessions between these two legends have been incredibly intense, as we're hearing reports about Roy helping Mike refine his defensive positioning and showing him how to conserve energy while still maintaining offensive pressure, and one person who witnessed their work together described it as two masters of the craft sharing knowledge that you simply can't learn from anyone else, and Roy apparently keeps emphasizing to Mike that fighting Floyd Mayweather requires a completely different approach than fighting anyone else has ever faced.
Yeah, you're up in the air. Look where you are. Yeah, look where you are. It's fucking beautiful. Fucking beautiful right there.
The daily schedule coming out of Mike's camp is absolutely insane for a 58-year-old man, because sources suggest Iron Mike is up before dawn doing road work, then hitting the gym for multiple sessions throughout the day, and we're talking about pad work with Roy in the morning and strength and conditioning in the afternoon, then film study sessions that run late into the evening, and one insider mentioned that Mike's dedication right now rivals what he showed during some of his biggest fights back in his prime. And what's really interesting is the specific game plan they are reportedly developing for Floyd, since Roy has been studying Mayweather's fights, obsessively breaking down every defensive pattern and every counter opportunity and every moment where Floyd might be vulnerable, and people close to the camp claim Roy identified something crucial, which is that Floyd's never been in the ring with someone who has Mike's combination of head movement and explosive power coming from a heavyweight frame, and that size and power differential could create problems Floyd has never had to deal with before.
It ain't got to do with me. I don't give a damn what none of them say. I do what I do. My business is my business. I don't care what he and nobody else say. This ain't got nothing to do with
Mike Tyson's gonna win.
In his lane, do what he do. Let me do what I do. Secondly, when I was fighting, I wasn't like them. I wouldn't have got every belt possible that I could get in my weight class at the time. And Mike did the same thing. We come from the old school. What don't talk about we'll take this with, no. We want every belt you got on.
The sparring partner situation tells you everything about how seriously this camp is taking.
The sparring partner situation tells you everything about how seriously this camp is taking the preparation, because multiple reports suggest they've brought in smaller, quicker fighters who can mimic Floyd's movement style, and we're not talking about big, slow heavyweights, since these are guys in the 150 to 165 pound range who have slick defensive skills and can replicate that Mayweather shoulder roll, and one sparring partner apparently told people afterwards that Mike's timing is way sharper than anyone expected, and when he catches you clean, you definitely feel the difference between his power and normal fighter power.
Beautiful cross.
Roy has been working extensively with Mike on body attack strategy because sources say Roy keeps hammering home the point that Floyd has never dealt with the kind of body shots a heavyweight can deliver, and we're hearing about drills specifically designed to help Mike rip shots to the ribs and solar plexus, since that could be his best path to slowing down Mayweather's movement. And Roy reportedly demonstrated in the gym how body work can make even the slickest defensive fighters start dropping their hands and opening up targets upstairs.
And then it was a back and forth with Manny saying I want the rematch, Floyd saying it didn't make sense, but now we're getting ready to get it. Talked to somebody yesterday, they didn't like the fight. They said, oh my gosh, two older guys, it's gonna be boring. I look at it a little bit different. Two older guys sometimes, because they don't have the energy and the legs to be moved.
Now let's talk about what professional fighters are saying about this matchup, because the reactions have been all over the map, and Andre Ward gave his analysis on television, pointing out that Floyd's defensive mastery is something that doesn't decline with age the same way physical attributes do, and Ward suggested that Mayweather's ring IQ and ability to control distance would be the deciding factors, but Ward also acknowledged that Mike's power is a wild card that can change any fight in one explosive moment.
You know, that's what I'm looking at.
Yeah. It makes me think if Tyson, and I heard Steve Kim and Mario Lopez talking about this, makes me wonder if the Tyson-Mayweather exhibition is even in play now that the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight has picked up some steam. So we'll see.
We'll see. We'll see. You know.
Porter had a fascinating take during a recent podcast appearance, because Porter broke down how Mike's peekaboo style could actually give Floyd problems he's not used to dealing with, and Porter mentioned that most fighters Floyd faced came at him in predictable patterns, but Mike's head movement and ability to punch from unusual angles might disrupt Floyd's timing, and Porter specifically said that if Mike can get inside and work at close range, the fight becomes way more dangerous for Mayweather than people think. And Tim Bradley did an extensive breakdown on his show that got everyone talking, as Bradley walked through how he thinks Floyd would approach this, using his jab to keep distance and making Mike come to him and burn energy, then picking him apart from the outside. But then Bradley said something that surprised a lot of people when he mentioned that Mike's explosiveness in short bursts could overwhelm even Floyd's defense if Tyson can time those moments correctly, and Bradley specifically brought up Mike's uppercuts and how devastating they could be if Floyd shells up on the ropes.
It's like I look at him different in a way of my era. Like people looked at Ali, and I looked at Ali different too, but not too many people. Marvin Hagler, like Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray Robinson.
And then Bernard Hopkins gave one of the most interesting perspectives, considering his defensive mastery and longevity in the sport, because Hopkins said that Mike training with Roy Jones Jr. is actually a brilliant move, since Roy understands both sides of this equation and he knows what it's like to face Mike, and he also knows what it takes to outbox someone using pure skill and ring intelligence. And Hopkins thinks the combination of Roy's technical knowledge and Mike's natural gifts could create a more competitive fight than the odds suggest.
Floyd, man, I mean, he's not the same kind of fighter. He doesn't react as the way he wants to, but he still has a sharp, intelligent, he knows sharp decision making. He knows when to do certain things, and that's what you gotta respect that guy, he's aging in front of you, and you're gonna be gone one day. People are gonna appreciate this guy later on when he's gone.
Sources Pauli Malignaggi, who knows Floyd's style as well as anyone, said he'd still heavily favor Mayweather in this matchup, because Pauli broke down how Floyd would likely just box circles around Mike and make him miss constantly and probably showboat while doing it. But even Pauli admitted that Mike's power means there's always that puncher's chance, and one clean shot could change everything. And Pauli specifically mentioned that Floyd's never been hit by someone with Mike Tyson's kind of force, and the mental preparation aspect is something Roy has reportedly been focusing on heavily with Mike.
That's it.
Sources claim Roy keeps reminding Mike that this isn't about trying to knock Floyd out in the first round, but it's about being patient and being smart and capitalizing on the few opportunities that might present themselves. And one person close to the camp mentioned that Roy's been using his own experience against Mike to teach him about pacing and energy management for this specific challenge. And here's something barely anyone is discussing, which is the physical conditioning protocols Mike's team has implemented because we're hearing about cutting-edge recovery methods and specialized nutrition plans designed for a nearly 60-year-old athlete and training techniques that optimize what Mike can still do rather than trying to recreate what he did 30 years ago. And one insider described the whole operation as incredibly scientific, using data and analytics to maximize Mike's performance while minimizing injury risk.
And that is exactly what Floyd Money Mayweather did. He told me exactly what he was going to do, and he did it.
He's the man.
He is the man. He is the man. He is the man. I see nobody on his level.
The sparring footage situation has everyone going crazy because apparently there are videos from Mike's training sessions with Roy, but the camp has kept everything completely locked down with no leaks, no social media posts, and nothing. And some people think this is strategic because they want to keep Floyd guessing about what Mike's actually preparing, while others believe they are saving the content for promotional material once the fight gets officially announced. But either way, the secrecy has only made people more desperate to know what's happening inside that gym. And Roy Jones Jr. himself gave a brief interview where he said that Mike's power at 58 is still very real, and Roy mentioned that during their own exhibition there were moments when Mike turned it up and the force behind those punches was legitimately scary. And Roy thinks that if Mike can have a few of those explosive moments against Floyd, the fight becomes way more interesting than people expect. And Roy also said that Mike's ring intelligence is underrated because has not just a puncher but has a student of the game who understands setups and timing, and the technical game plan they are developing apparently focuses heavily on cutting off the ring, as sources say Roy has been teaching Mike specific footwork patterns designed to trap Floyd without wasting energy chasing him around. And we're hearing about drills where Roy moves like Mayweather while Mike practices angling him off and forcing him into corners. And one person who watched these sessions mentioned that Mike's ability to cut off the ring is actually better now than it was during his fight with Roy, which suggests the training is producing real improvements. And from a pure stylistic standpoint, several trainers have pointed out that this matchup presents unique problems for both fighters, since Floyd has never faced someone with Mike's combination of head movement and heavyweight power. Mike has never faced someone with Floyd's level of defensive sophistication and counter-punching precision, and the question becomes whether Mike's physical advantages can overcome Floyd's technical mastery, or whether Floyd's skills can neutralize what Mike still brings to the table. And Teddy Atlas did an extensive breakdown focusing on what Mike needs to do to have success, as Atlas emphasized bodywork as absolutely crucial because Mike needs to attack Floyd's midsection early and often to slow down that movement and create openings upstairs. And Atlas also mentioned that Mike can't get frustrated when Floyd makes him miss, and staying composed and sticking to the game plan will be essential because Floyd thrives when opponents get emotional and start making mistakes. And the betting lines for this potential fight are absolutely wild, even though nothing is officially announced yet, because offshore books have posted hypothetical odds with Floyd as a massive favorite around -700 and Mike is the underdog at around +450. But here's what's interesting: despite those odds, early betting action is heavily on Tyson, as people love the underdog story, especially when it involves a legend with knockout power. And Virgil Hunter gave his technical analysis on a podcast recently, as Hunter broke down how Floyd's shoulder roll is perfect for dealing with straight punches, but it can be vulnerable to hooks and uppercuts thrown from the right angles. And Mike Tyson built his entire career on hooks and uppercuts, and Hunter suggested that if Mike can get inside Floyd's long jab and work at close range where his power is most effective, he might find more success than the odds indicate. And the financial side of this potential matchup is absolutely massive, because multiple sources claim both fighters are looking at guaranteed purses well into 8 figures with pay-per-view points that could push total earnings way higher. And one person connected to the promotional discussions mentioned that streaming platforms and traditional broadcasters are in serious bidding wars for the rights, and this isn't just another exhibition, but it's potentially one of the biggest boxing events of the entire year. And the ring size discussion has become a major talking point among analysts, because if they use a smaller ring, Mike has way better chances of cutting off Floyd's movement and forcing exchanges, and in a larger ring, Floyd can use his superior footwork to stay away from danger all night. And sources claim ring size is actually being negotiated right now, which tells you both camps understand how critical that detail is to their respective strategies. And that's all for now. Alright everyone, stay tuned for the latest in boxing news, highlights, events, and stories. Subscribe to Ring Headquaterzz and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Be sure to watch our other videos too. Until next time, take care and stay safe.